Mohammed Al Khalifa, Minister of Finance, Minister in charge for Oil and Gas Affairs, representing the patron of the event, His Royal Highness Prince Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa, the Prime Minister for the Kingdom of Bahrain. Your Excellencies, our honored guests, a very good evening. It's my privilege to welcome you all to the opening ceremony of the second Middle East Process Engineering Conference and Exhibition, Mepec 2013, under the patronage of His Royal Highness Prince Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa, the Prime Minister for the Kingdom of Bahrain, organized by the Saudi Arabian section of the American Institute of Chemical Engineers. Building on the resounding success of Mepec 2011, the second Middle East Process Engineering Conference and Exhibition also promises to be a vital forum where key players from across the process industry will gather to share the most up-to-date information, the challenges it faces, and potential solutions to its most pressing problems. The main theme of the conference, being meeting future challenges through engineering excellence, has been selected to emphasize the main objective of the event, of seeking solutions to the various challenges facing the process industry through engineering excellence. Our first distinguished speaker is His Excellency Sheikh Ahmed bin Mohammed Al Khalifa, Minister of Finance, Minister in charge of Oil and Gas Affairs. Please join me in welcoming His Excellency to the podium.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Let me start by thanking the patron of this event, His Royal Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa, the Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Bahrain. And I would also like to start by welcoming you all on behalf of the Kingdom of Bahrain to Manama for this, the second annual Middle East Process Engineering Conference and Exhibition, Mepec. It is indeed a privilege to host a specialist event where top engineers, managers, and experts gather to share their knowledge and expertise with their fellow professionals. I am sure participants will learn from the collective experience available here about the latest engineering concepts and technologies used in the oil and gas industry, which will improve the various processes involved in turning raw materials into usable products. The topic of the conference, Overcoming Future Challenges Through Engineering Excellence, emphasizes the need to seek innovative engineering solutions to various challenges facing the process industry. The continually growing population has presented the world with several challenges relating to water, energy, sustainability, environment, and safety that require the collaboration of process engineering and advanced technologies. Also, as the need for energy grows, engineers are increasingly challenged by the requirement to obtain energy from more difficult and varied sources, and to operate under tighter regulatory and environmental conditions. Moreover, as the cost of energy increases, process engineers are forced to look for ways to improve the means of finding efficient ways to utilize energy and reduce costs. Indeed, many would say that the real challenge faced by process engineers is how to improve processes to meet the ever-changing needs without jeopardizing safety. Mepec is highly regarded by professionals in the region who are keen to share ideas and remain up to date with the latest developments in various stages of oil extraction and processing, so as to help keep companies among the best in the world. This opportunity to address specific challenges such as changing feedstocks, sustainability, and changing product quality specifications, among others, is extremely vital and encouraging. This conference will be a forum to discuss all aspects of process engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, it is encouraging to see this conference bring together hundreds of experts from all over the world to share innovative ideas and best practices for resolving process engineering issues, providing an opportunity for process engineers, production engineers, researchers, senior managers in engineering, operations and maintenance and business development executives from product and service providers to network and learn from their peers. The 7 major topics covered in this year's conference are all issues of interest to process and production engineers or researchers. Manufacturing excellence, localization, clean fuels, and sustainability are of great relevance in today's world, which will be looked into with renewed interest at this conference. Mepec 2013 is also an excellent opportunity for regional and international operators and owners, as well as technology, product, and service providers, to discuss and develop innovative ideas and feasible solutions that will address the growing needs of oil and gas and petrochemical industries. This technical conference, together with the trade exhibition held alongside, has attracted significantly more delegates than the previous conference. From over 40 countries, mostly from the oil and gas and petrochemical industry, not to mention the exhibitors from 30 countries from all over the world, which reflects the growing popularity of this event. I hope all participants here will make use of the conference and accompanying exhibition to improve their knowledge and understanding in the field, and of course to build new partnerships which will help them tackle professional challenges more effectively. Lastly, I would like to thank each and every participant here for being part of Mepec 2013. In particular, I would like to convey my appreciation to the chairman of the organizing committee, members of the subcommittees, and sponsoring companies for their participation and presence here with us in the Kingdom of Bahrain. I wish you a great conference and a pleasant stay. Thank you for your time and attention.
It gives me great pleasure to invite our second distinguished speaker for tonight, His Excellency Abdul Latif Al-Othman, Governor and Chairman of the Board of Directors at the Saudi Arabian General Investment Authority, also known as SAGIA, and the Chairman of Mepec 2013 Advisory Committee.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين. Your Excellency Sheikh Ahmed bin Mohammed Al Khalifa, Minister of Finance and in charge Minister for Oil and Gas Affairs. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you all to the largest events for process engineers in the region. Mepec 2013 is organized under the patronage of His Royal Highness Prince Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa, the Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Bahrain. To Your Royal Highness, we're deeply grateful for your support of this vital program of professional excellence. We're very grateful as well for the Kingdom of Bahrain for its continued hospitality, and we admire you for continuing convincing more and more conferences of many professional societies to choose Bahrain as the friendly and business-friendly state, always hospitable. For that, we thank you very much. This second Mepec builds on the success of the first conference. It has grown in both size and stature. For this achievement, I would like to personally congratulate my friend Auda Al-Ahmadi, Mepec 2013 Chairman, and the other members of the Saudi Arabian section of the American Institute of Chemical Engineers for an outstanding performance and for their diligence and hard work. It's been an honor to serve with the Mepec Advisory Committee. I wish to thank my committee colleagues who have been models of imagination and teamwork. It's a pleasure to share a platform as well, once again, with a dear friend, Mr. Abdurrahman Al-Wahib, Senior Vice President of Saudi Aramco. We're all honored by the presence of the President of the American Institute of Chemical Engineers, Dr. Philip Westmoreland. Thank you very much for making it all the way from the United States here. My friends, this evening, I wish to sound a keynote an octave higher than your usual range of comfort. Using the terminology of process engineers, I will be putting a higher octane number in my message. Our region faces a gap between capabilities and achievement. You members of the process engineering profession and the companies you represent have a crucial role to play in closing this gap. We are all familiar with the talk of a manufacturing renaissance on the other side of the globe. This industrial renewal is enabled by the revolution in shale oil and gas production. It takes only a moment's reflection to recognize that the coming great manufacturing renaissance is not and should not be limited to one continent. The Gulf Cooperation Council countries enjoy conditions as promising and in some respects better for tremendous job creation and long-term manufacturing growth than we're seeing in other places. The GCC countries offer an unparalleled, reliable supply of gas and liquid feedstock. They provide unbeatable competitive in location, logistics for exports to Europe, Asia, and Africa. Meanwhile, the domestic GCC consumer demand is booming. Neither the Western Hemisphere nor any other region can match the investor-friendly business and regulatory environments in Saudi Arabia, which comprise more than half of the GCC population and GDP. Saudi Arabia ranks amongst the top 3 most favorable tax environments according to the World Bank. Rewards for investors who improve the local supply chain are tremendous. We're projecting the private sector contribution to petrochemicals development in Saudi Arabia to quadruple over the next decade. According to the kingdom's strategic plans and with the participation of the private sector, value parks for the conversion industry are being developed at the massive new integrated refining and petrochemical plants. And every $1 million invested in the conversion industry creates 30 jobs, a much higher rate than many other industries. Your profession, process engineering, fosters an interdisciplinary mindset. This poises and challenges you, each of you, to be innovators and leaders in the coming GCC manufacturing boom. This conference provides an excellent mix of technical panels and high-level discussion on the major issues of innovation and competitiveness in our markets. Putting into practice what we begin here will help us not only to keep ahead of the curve regarding the latest technologies, it also will help us stay ahead of the curve of anticipating what consumers will value and purchase. Excellence in process engineering will lead to the introduction of new products and services and potentially entire new industries. With our region's resources, infrastructure, and business-friendly fiscal and regulatory policies, we have every element for launching a prosperous new era of advanced manufacturing. Therefore, I would ask each of you this week to focus on how we can make a difference. Let's make this a productive conference addressing our region's economic challenges. How can the process engineering profession help unlock a wealth of unconventional oil and gas? How can the profession make the new venture in deep water exploration in the Red Sea a major success? How can process engineering help the new state-of-the-art integrated refinery and petrochemical plants exceed expectations? How can your innovation developed here in the Gulf attract massive new investments for a cluster of conversion industries making products not only displacing imports, but more importantly, competitive in the global markets? Are you making the efforts so that you can tell your children and grandchildren someday that you played a part in our region's birth of a global industry in pharmaceutical, automotive, and electronic components and other fields of advanced manufacturing. Have we achieved leadership in capital project execution in terms of value and efficiency? Are we creating regional EPC champions that are becoming global? And are we enabling the development of businesses across the value chain? How much of each dollar that is being spent in CapEx and OpEx is staying in the region? Is the engineering being done and performed here? Are the major materials and equipment being made here? Are we not only achieving high levels of local sourcing, and better yet, have we started exporting our exceptional goods and services? Let's not rest until we have answered these questions constructively, and I can't think of a better audience than what we have today to answer those questions. Ladies and gentlemen, this year saw the birth of Mepec industry initiatives, which featured the involvement of two important groups of participants. Women and students in the industry contributed to Mepec enormously, as you will see during the conference. Both stand to play a great role in the future of this industry. To recognize these two important initiatives, a very focused and detailed student program was established with the participation of 250 students from the GCC countries. In addition, a women's award with 3 categories was developed, where we had great participation from all over the Middle East. As you can see, we are up against a lot of challenges and a very rich program. I encourage you to plan your time at Mepec effectively, as there is something for everyone. The event begins in style tonight with a grand dinner, providing a superb networking opportunities for all present. Let the fine food and great conversations energize us to make the manufacturing renaissance a reality in our region. Thank you very much.
I would now like to invite Mr. Abdulrahman Al Wahib, Senior Vice President Downstream at the Saudi Aramco, to deliver his speech.
Assalamu alaikum. Your Excellency, Sheikh Ahmed bin Mohammed Al Khalifa, Minister of Finance and Minister in charge of Oil and Gas Affairs, Your Excellency, Governor Abdul Latif Al Othman, distinguished conference organizers, ladies and gentlemen. I'm grateful and I'm excited to represent Saudi Aramco as a prime sponsor of the second Middle East Process Engineering Conference. It is a privilege to welcome participants and to join you in discussions with some of the world's great thought leaders in process engineering. I wish to commend the conference organizers for choosing the theme of engineering excellence. The Saudi Aramco delegation is keenly interested in learning from and sharing with other participants best practices that contribute to our mutual progress. In that spirit, I would like to discuss Saudi Aramco's accelerated transformation program with you, focusing specifically on operational excellence. Operational excellence is a leadership philosophy that marries basic principles, systems, and tools to create a long-term sustainable self-reinforcing performance improvement culture. Our intent is to be the world's leading integrated energy and chemical company, focused on maximizing income, facilitating the sustainable and diversified expansion of the kingdom economy, and enabling a globally competitive and vibrant Saudi energy sector by 2020. Pursuit of operational excellence touches every aspect of our company and business environment. Generally speaking, operational excellence means that all operations across all functions are conducted with a minimum amount of waste and with a high degree of flexibility and stability, conforming to the highest performance standards in health, safety and environment, and reliability, efficiency, cost control, and profitability. In other words, it has much in common with the philosophy underlying the multidisciplinary, holistic profession of process engineering. Our drive to enhance operational excellence builds on a solid foundation of safety and reliability. To reach a new level, we are undertaking critical reviews of practices, procedures, capabilities, and performance against leading industry peers. We're identifying improvement opportunities, rapidly sharing best practices, and working in cross-functional team in all key areas. In the end, we aim to move beyond the technical aspects of operational excellence to a state where we fully understand, employ, and integrate the key enablers to drive sustained excellence in operations. These formalized systems and other initiatives already have yielded notable achievements in production, volume growth, safety performance, environmental stewardship, cost control, plant reliability, and availability performance measures. During the conference, my associates will be able to share information on how our operational excellence efforts produced these results over the past 5 years. Our maintenance cost index has decreased by 20%. Equipment availability has improved to over 98%, which exceeds our carbon target. Average turnaround time for major repairs has reduced by 30%, and safety performance has improved with a 50% reduction in lost time injuries. During the same time period, we have brought online numerous mega projects. We have attained record levels of crude productions and exports, while gas production levels increased by more than 25%. All of us at Mepec have technical backgrounds, and as a result, the technical changes come most easily and naturally for us. I think we all can agree that it is often the other changes in leadership, capability, performance, and behaviors that we tend to overlook as key to operational excellence and engineering excellence. Yet, these soft elements often make the difference between success and failure, between short-term and sustained performance improvement. Process engineering partakes of this comprehensive approach. When I was studying chemical engineering at King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals, only then emerging as a recognized discipline in its own right. Today, both basic research and the application of process engineering are involving more and more useful sub-disciplines with each year that passes. Process engineering for energy, chemicals, and other industry today encompasses nanotechnology, supercomputing, and biomolecular engineering, to name just a few of the tools and disciplines that were scarcely available just a generation ago. I hope this conference will further illuminate the many ways that engineering excellence directly flows from operational excellence and how it can help overcome challenges in the future. I also wish to mention another aim of Saudi Aramco transformation, to change from primarily a purchaser of technology into a major creator of new technologies. To reach this goal, we plan to increase our research funding 5-fold by the year 2020. We also are committed to tripling our manpower in science and technology. This expansion means an abundance of opportunity for motivated process engineers. 80% of our research personnel will be stationed at our headquarters in Bahrain. the balance will staff a global network of no research centers addressed to both upstream and downstream issues. In Dijon, Korea, for example, our CO2 management center aims to make hydrocarbon energy more sustainable for years to come. In Detroit and Paris, we have established centers to research new fuel solutions for advanced engines. The Detroit Center also will study carbon capture from mobile sources, such as vehicles. In Cambridge, our center involving both upstream and downstream business line will focus on computational modeling and nanotechnology research. Let me note two projects currently in the works that should be of particular interest to process engineers. Our downstream research organization is developing a novel process engineering method to increase revenue per barrel by applying unconventional technology to remove sulfur in a crude oil upgrading process. We are also readying a process taking an unconventional liquid hydrocarbon feedstock directly to high-value chemicals. My friends, the information and insights we share this week will make a long-lasting contribution to the GCC region as we strive to broaden prosperity in the knowledge economy. Energy and minerals enterprises, chemical companies, and business deeper downstream in pharmaceutical, plastics, and new materials all will make a greater contribution to economic growth through the use of process engineering disciplines. Let me close by inviting you to join in an exercise in practical imagination. Let's take a moment to think about what the process engineering profession could accomplish during the next generation. Let's consider how the mindset of operational excellence and process engineering disciplines could make transformative achievements. We can envision breakthroughs, advances in CO2 capture and sequestration. We can foresee developing nanotechnology for catalysts to convert carbon dioxide into useful energy. We can anticipate ushering in a new age of direct production from liquid feedstock to chemicals. We can expect further major advances in lowering capital costs and shortening supply chains, for example, through advanced expansion of local manufacturing and plastic conversion at the value parks adjacent to new petrochemical plants at Taraba and Jubail. I want to say emphatically that I am optimistic about progress on each of these horizons. I am likewise confident that some of the professionals attending the second Mepec here in Bahrain this week will be part of the solution to these challenges. Thank you for gathering for this important event for our region's advancement and excellence. I thank you for your kind attention.
Our next speaker for the night has come all the way from the United States of America. Please welcome Dr. Philip Westmoreland, President of the American Institute of Chemical Engineers.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Your Excellencies, our distinguished participants, chemical engineers and process engineers all. I'm delighted. It is a joy for me to help welcome the beginning of this event. I wish to speak briefly, just to make 3 points though. The preceding speakers have discussed several themes that I would like to respond to. One thing that you heard is, again, this new manufacturing renaissance that's happening throughout the world. Another thing is that we're not here just to create solutions, but we're here to create the future. Part of that is indeed through manufacturing. Manufacturing to much of the world means the creation of durable goods and objects, automobiles, washing machines, and the like. And yet the process engineer is about creating the world in different ways, creating the stuff. It's very easy to make the argument that we have to manufacture fuels, that we have to manufacture pharmaceuticals, that we have to manufacture polymers. People can accept that. But what we're seeing is a new synthesis. Much of the new advanced manufacturing is a combination of the skills that we have. That is, many of the new products, much of the new manufacturing is about creating new materials and new products from it. I show you briefly an example, a very intricate mesh that recalls to me some of the beauties of intricate classic Islamic art. This was created by 3D printing. 3D printing requires the combination of experience of electromechanical devices, but it most importantly depends on the work of the computer scientist in creating the designs, together with the materials that the process engineer creates. The opportunities are significant. The opportunities are significant. In my second point, I would say, in a diversity of areas. This is truly a golden age of chemical engineering that I see happening right now. And part of it has to do with the subject that we will be talking about here, the many subjects we'll be talking about, largely based on the power of things that we can do with oil and gas. And yet the breadth of the professions have been increasing. The opportunities that we have with computational power now, computing networks, computing visualization, information at our fingertips. I look at the number of the people in the room and I suspect we have maybe twice as many computers in this room as the number of people. Our mobile phones, our smartphones, our powerful computers. Biology has become a core part of process engineering and of chemical engineering, whether it's making pharmaceuticals or making new biomaterials. And again, this breadth of the profession feeds into that. So my third point is the key one of talent development. For us to create the future, we must not only contribute our own talents, but we must develop the talents of new entrants to the profession, university students and new employees, but also of our own talents as the fields change around us. We must also learn. So in closing, I would simply thank the sponsors whose names are arrayed here across the back. We're very grateful for their sponsorship. To all of the volunteer and professional organizers of this meeting, and in particular to one of the most vigorous local sections of AICHE, the Saudi Arabian section, that has been instrumental in creating this. Thank you all for your attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the last keynote speech for the day that will be delivered by the conference chairman. Please welcome Mr. Aoud Al-Ahmadi, chairman of Mepec 2013.
To the second Middle East Process Engineering Conference and Exhibition Mepec 2013. I would like to begin by extending our great thanks and sincere gratitude to His Royal Highness Prince Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa, Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Bahrain, for the patronage of Mepec 2013. Mepec 2013 takes place here after 2 years of hard work from our team since Mepec 2011. I must first thank all of the members of the various Mepec committees that have played a great part in what will unfold this week. Mepec is now established a biannual event dealing with process engineering. Beyond the opening ceremony and the dinner taking place tonight, all of us are about to experience a special edition of Mepec, one in which most of the main industry players and experts active in the Niger have contributed to, with more than 1,500 delegates, mostly senior executives and engineers, 350 speakers, 30 sponsors, 100 exhibitors, and more than 250 students. All are coming from all over the world, and thousands of trade visitors expected. Mepec 2013 have grown to become the first technical event for process engineering in the region. Mepec would not have originally been possible without the strong support of our strategic sponsors. First of all, I would like to acknowledge Saudi Aramco as the prime sponsor of Mepec 2013. In addition, I would like to thank our diamond sponsors, namely SABIC, Noga Holdings, Sadara, Ma'adin, and GE, as well as other sponsors who will be recognized later tonight. I shall not forget the great support received from many government agencies and ministries from the Kingdom of Bahrain, notably National Oil and Gas Authority, NOGA, Noga Holding, the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, the Ministry of Culture, and Bahrain Exhibition and Convention Authority, BECA. Also, I would like to thank our event organizer, ME3, for their excellent work. In addition to the strong technical program lasting for 3 days, the core initiative of this year are to promote the youth as well as the role of women in our industry. The Leadership Excellence Award for Women, LEWA, is a program dedicated to recognizing excellence of women in the oil, gas, and petrochemical industries. Your Excellency Sheikh Ahmed bin Mohammed Al Khalifa, Your Excellencies Abdul Latif Ahmed Al Uthman, Your Excellencies, our ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us for this special occasion. Thank you very much.